The first obvious thing here is that, the space itself, right? Because any kind of daily engagement, or let's say even literary engagement with Kashmir, I think, at least for me, that's my opinion of it. Of course, people can have different opinions, but you'd have to be really ignorant to kind of, you know, willfully ignorant to gloss over the political realities of this place. And, of course, folklore is very rooted in, like oral traditions and kind of narratives which people pass on from one generation to another. So here we're looking at a generation which has, our generation, let's say, our generation and beyond has, which has only seen conflict growing up. So, of course, it becomes a part of any kind of tales they tell you. So, that's one of the kind of reasons, let's say, main reasons that I tried to bring these themes together, but also, this is while writing the piece itself, I realized this was in my mind. It's not something I very intentionally kind of drew parallels, but that entire feeling we get from the supernatural, it's let's say horror or being haunted by it, right? So that is something while writing the piece itself, I realized how for so many people, after listening to a lot of stories from people here, as well as my own experience of, let's say, just walking around streets over here, how much the presence, just the visuals of the military presence here kind of stays with you. And which is why I use the word haunting as well, because it does it does linger in your mind. And of course, a lot of people come to Kashmir as tourists who don't really go into these spaces where the military is very visible. But even then, even if you don't go into these spaces, they are very visible and kind of stays with you throughout. So yeah, I think that's one of the, that's another reason. And yeah, beyond that, I would say that it would be some sort of injustice to not acknowledge political realities, despite talking about the cultural. Even if you're focusing on, let's say, a cultural story, because of course the culture itself here is very unique. And I think that should be, kind of preserved through narratives as well as all kind of stories and, different forms. But yeah, at the same time, like, it is a bit of an injustice to not acknowledge how the current situation, which has been going on for decades now, how it has impacted even the culture itself, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it.